So there was a sturgeon that was in this pond when our clients bought the house. Pretty rare to have it in like a home kept pond like this. Fairly big. We estimated him to be around 4 feet. And so they love it. They buy crawdads to put in the pond to stock to make sure it has enough food. So the goal was to catch the sturgeon, put him in a safe housing container, and then get the muck pumped out so that the sturgeon would have a lot more depth to live in and not have to worry about him overheating in the summer with only a couple feet of water. So Chris and Ariel were out here yesterday kind of prepping everything. We had to dam up the stream so that we could stop the flow a little bit, and then we like put pumps around the pond or out of the pond around so that we could kind of get the water level down. And then I was out here today to kind of assist. I don't think I helped very much, but we had to catch the sturgeon. So
she didn't do that much.
I was moral support and also here so that you guys could all see it so we could capture it. We ended up getting a big type fishing net to kind of herd him over closer to the dock, which is over here. And then we netted him in a larger koi net that we have. And then we had purchased a 1,500 gallon holding tank that we pumped some of the pond water in. So he is now safely housed in his temporary home with nets over it to keep him protected. And then tomorrow we actually have pump trucks coming out because this is just far too much muck for us to try to rinse down and pump somewhere, and then it would just go into the stream and block it. So we've actually hired some trucks to come out and pump out all the muck so that we can make this a better home for that sturgeon.
It's approximately 200 yards of mud in the bottom of this thing.
We weren't positive when we were estimating it because we couldn't really get out there, but if you can see these little sticks, Chris actually had to walk across the pond in order to herd the fish in, and he now has shoes of muck. So it is a super exciting job. It just kind of shows us that we definitely love what we do because everything is always unique. The sturgeon ended up being he was 50 inches. We had one of those nets with the measuring tape in it type thing. So his name's Stevie, and we are very excited to get this pond cleaned out so that Stevie can have a nice clean home. And yeah, we are probably going to check in tomorrow and kind of get some time lapse of the trucks pumping out all the muck because that's going to be really cool. So stay tuned. Should be right about here.
Well, here's an update on the sturgeon pond cleanout. It was almost empty when I left last night, about 5 o'clock. Got here at 7, check it out, and it was, wow, some bad lighting. It was a foot full of water again. So the little bit of water that was getting past our dam had filled it back up, and the pump that I had left in here was full of, it was all gummed up with 5 crawdads, a bullhead catfish, and about a half dozen snails. So that was fun. But I threw the pump on that I had the fish water circulating in. I threw another clean out pump in it, so it is now draining back down again pretty quickly. The VacTruck guys are here. They're gonna get set up, so hopefully in the next hour or so it takes us to get set up, we lose another 6 or 8 inches of water. At the moment, I have 6 pumps running with a combination of probably between 12 and 15,000 gallons of water pumping out of this thing. So we're getting it out as fast as possible. So we'll set you guys up on time lapse and watch us work. Well, that's the progress we got for the end of the day today. We got a bunch of rain this morning, so there's a lot of water in here. So the first truck, unfortunately, was a lot of water, but not a lot of mud. But the next two were mostly sludge and muck. We did find the bottom, and it looks to be about 6 feet deep of mud down here. The drop-off point for the truck was having issues, so they weren't able to make it back for their fourth trip today, so we got 3 loads out. But we're making progress, so we will be back tomorrow and hopefully get out another 20 to 40 yards of sludge. Really, that's all I can tell you is it's just nasty, nasty sludge. Well, end of day 2, as you can possibly see, maybe it is pouring down rain and hailing on us, so that's fun. But we got 3 more truckloads out of here again, and it made quite a bit of difference today. We got a lot done out by the dock, and then a massive hole here next to the dam. I'll flip it around and show you. It doesn't look very big on camera, but with that water level, it's still another 3 feet deep. This here hose was down in the dirt all the way down to here. The guys helping were almost shoulder deep down there. Our original hole silted in overnight, which was expected. And then this is the hole we got this afternoon, the first 2 loads. It's starting to silt in too, but it's a pretty big difference. It's slow progress, but it is progress. The dump sites that we were hoping to use is having technical difficulties, so they're having to go farther for their truck. And so we're only getting 3 loads out than what we were hoping for was 4, but what can you do? Stevie the Sturgeon is still doing well. He's in his holding tank still. We're doing a water change on it, so we're pumping new water in, pumping water out. So we'll let that go for another 10 or 15 minutes or so. I will be back in the morning again. I am having to show up a couple hours early than everybody else to make sure that there's water out of this thing, so they can suck mud and not just all water like we did the first round. So we will be back for another day and hopefully get another 3 trucks out of here. And it doesn't look like it, but this is significantly deeper than most of the rest of the pond. So we'll probably end up getting probably 40 or 50% of the actual sludge and dirt out of this pond. It just won't look like it from the square footage of the pond, because the other end's on this edges, and on the other end it's only about 2 feet deep rather than almost 6. So it's progress, slow progress, but it is progress. So we'll see you tomorrow and do another update and some more time lapse of us sucking out the mud. You guys have a good one. Our friends are back again. Back for the 3rd day. Hopefully another 3 loads of pond muck coming out. So I'll walk you by the pond and get you set up on time lapse. We got the water pumped out. Been here a couple of hours making sure that the water stays out of here so we can keep the most amount of muck in the truck and not as much water weight. But This is the progress so far, what it looks like. And I think we'll be starting over here again today. Make this hole bigger. So let's get to it.
Time to get Stevie back into his home. Water's a lot deeper, buddy. We are done here at our client's house. It's been a pretty crazy week. I was not on site with Chris and Ariel, but we want to give a huge shout out to OreVac West. They did a fantastic job, great guys to work with, wonderful crew. You can't really tell right now looking at the pond that we really did a whole lot just because it hasn't cleared up. Again, this is naturally running through, so it takes some time to settle. The client said it took about a week or so, maybe 2, for it to kind of calm down last time we were out here. But their dog has been jumping in and swimming, and they said that he used to come out half black because of how thick the mud was. He could pretty much walk around the whole pond, and now she is coming out white as can be. So we are so thankful to be out here and do this. It was a crazy experience. Not sure if we'll be back to do more. The client's going to work a little bit more on pumping out some of this because we probably got
more maintenance.
Yeah, it's kind of a maintenance thing because we definitely got this area deeper, so the fish will be totally fine and happy for this summer. But there is still some muck in that more shallow area by the waterfall over there. And so they're gonna do some kind of just
back is still about 1.5 feet deep. This right here is about 9 feet deep now. Went from 2.5 to 9.
It's crazy. So I am gonna get them to send us some footage of when it is actually cleared so they can see the difference. But again, we are super thankful for the experience, and it was awesome just to see that fish and touch him and be in the presence of a real kind of dinosaur looking thing. So awesome. Thank you guys, and Chris and the Pond Mermaid, we'll see you on the next one.